I just want to know if you're all in what God has for your life. You got to be all in. It's all in. Now is the time. Because now he's releasing us to next levels. Look in Genesis chapter 32. Look at Genesis 32. You got to get this, and we're going to get out of here. But I got to drop this prophetic. I got to drop this prophetic word. You're a guest with us. God has championed us to move in a prophetic season in this ministry. We are pioneers in this church of a prophetic shift and move. God is creating a church of leaders because of what he desires to do in the kingdom broadly. And so we're moving in this prophetic season, and prophecy just simply means God revealing that which is hidden. That's what prophecy is. God revealing to us what we could not have known unless he gave us the revelation. That's just prophecy revealed is God revealing revelation. Essentially, in a nutshell, revelation is simply God telling us what he's been doing in secret. Wow. That's what revelation is. Him telling us what he's doing in secret, or confirming, or exposing us, or bringing us into an experience of what he's up to. Because what we've learned through Henry Blackaby is that God was always working when we came into revelation. When we come into it, God had already been working before we got there. In fact, in order for you to be sustained there, he was making maneuvers and moves before you got there so that you could be sustained when you arrived. So God had always, listen, God has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. He has a purpose designed for you and your life on this earth that will not have no application when you leave here. When you leave this life, and all of us will have to leave this life, there will be no job application to fill out. You won't be jockeying for a position when you leave here. We all got to leave this life. So that means that whatever you do now matters in terms of fulfilling the purposes of God. And listen, whether you want to hear this or not, I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because I got to be true to the text. And that's simply this. Whatever God has for your life has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with him. You're just the beneficiary of what God desires to do. But God, listen, God always, listen to me, whatever he does in your life, he always does it thinking about himself first and you second. It's never about you first. It's always about him first. That's why he makes such demands on us to make him first. Making him first puts you in a position of remembering that he is first. So if you learn that he's first, then you're not upset if there's not a move in your life when you expect it, because he don't make a move when you expect it. He makes a move when he knows a move needs to be made, because it's about bringing him glory. He is more about his glory than about your comfort. And the reason why is because comfort is temporary, but glory is forever. So it's about him. And you're like, well, what kind of God is this that makes demands of me that I make him number one? Just look through your history, and what you'll discover is that this God, the God of the Bible, the God under the umbrella of the Christian church, a Christian experience, you will find that he's the one God out of any God that exists in the 21st century vernacular. He's the only God recorded that gets out and blesses people before they say yes. Y'all lost that. He's the only God recorded, that is written down, who blesses you before you say yes. And you'll get it when you get home. Because listen, before you even form prayer on your lips to God to get something, he's already stacked you with the evidence. Watch, because if there was no evidence, you wouldn't have been led to pray. You're led to pray based on evidence that he can do something because of what, even if it's a little bit, you knew he could do in your life. Look at somebody say, I know God can do it. I know he can. Come on, I need 7 of y'all to say, I know God can do it. And here's why. Because he has done it. Come on, somebody. Where's my testimony at? There's somebody who can testify that God, they called me crazy, but God still delivered anyway. So watch. In Genesis, what chapter did I tell y'all to go to? Genesis 30. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, so watch this. So if you've been praying about a difficult situation, or you finding yourself in a space of uncertainty or transition, then here's a prophetic insight. Here's a prophetic insight. The Holy Spirit is anointing your heart right now. He's touching your eyes so that you can see where you are and know where God is working at this very moment. So in Genesis 32, the first verse, are you there? Genesis 32, you got that up on the screen? Watch. Genesis 32, the first verse. So watch them. We're talking about Jacob, all right? Whoo, I got to hurry up. Okay, here we go. Genesis 32. Where are we at? 32. Where are we at? 32. 32, what verse? 32, the first verse. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Whoo, boy, I thought I was off the hook before. I'm really off the hook now. All right. I didn't even have coffee. This is the Holy Ghost right here. Look. So Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When did the angels of God meet him? If you don't go, you don't encounter what God is ready. Look, you can be a good old Baptist sitting up in here, but you do know if you don't move, you can't meet him. So Jacob went on his way, and who met him? The angels of God. Let me just give you a word that's worth tweeting. This is the word that's worth tweeting. Here's the word that's worth tweeting. Wherever there are angels nearby, God is closer. Are you with me? God is closer. Because if God is not present, then you'd be tempted to worship the angel. But the angel is just a precursor that God is on his way. I just need to tell y'all that just by that word, Tina, angels has just been released all over y'all territories. When you get to your house, when you look at your baby's room, when you look, wherever you go, angels have been released. And wherever there's the presence of angels, God is nearby.
Thank you, Lord. Wow.
So look, watch this. So look at the second verse. Can you put the second verse up there? So look at the second verse. And when Jacob saw them, he said this. What did he say? Notice what he did not say. He didn't say this is angels' camp. He said this is God's camp. Oh, y'all hear what I'm saying? And some of y'all making a mistake calling things that are God that are not really God. They're just a precursor that God is on his way. He didn't call it angels' camp. He called it this must be God's camp. Because if these angels are here, God must be somewhere behind. And here's the thing. Are you ready? And angels would never show up if they weren't sent. So God must be here because angels don't act on their own accord. They act under orders. So that means if you're in a recipient, watch this, Savior. If you're in a recipient of a blessing come tomorrow, it is evident that the blessing came by the command of God, because blessings would have never come unless he released it. Wow. Whatever blessing you're about to get in the next 3 days, brother, whatever blessing you're about to get, it's going to be evidence that God is close to you.
Thank you, God.
Oh, you hear what I'm telling you? It's evidence that God, every blessing is not about the blessing. It's about an indication of how close God is with you. That's the function of a blessing. The function of the blessing is not so you can drive around with a brand new car and put the license plate on it. I'm blessed. No. The function, I'm blessed, That's not the fun. That's catchy, but that's not the function of a blessing. The function of the blessing is wherever there's a blessing, God must be somewhere nearby. Why do we always cry for a blessing? Because we want to know that God hears us.
Yeah.
So now watch. Can I just tell? I'm talking to 7 of y'all. Watch this, Tiffany. You one of them. He went on his way, and what showed up? Angels. Did he know angels were going to be there? No, there was no indication that angels were going to be there. But when he moved, angels showed up. That means that when you move by obedience to God, he's got surprises waiting on you that you did not expect. About 3 of y'all need to receive that right now. And you know why you need to receive that? Because a couple of you've been afraid to make a move because you weren't quite sure what you might encounter. Well, take the faith of Jacob and just be on the move and know that God's got something waiting on you when you get there. And then when he got there, listen what it says. And then Jacob saw that when he saw them, he said, this is God's camp. And he called the name of the place Pahanaim. Maha. Yeah. I was thinking about a daddy when I should have been thinking about a mama. Mahanim. Mahanim. Yeah, mama-nim. I just made the Methodists uncomfortable. Listen. Mahanim. Look at this. What? This is God's camp, and what did it say? No, right here. Yeah, what did it say? Who called it? Who called it? Jacob called it that place based on his experience. And sometimes God creates experiences so you know what to call it when the experience happens. And Mahanim, you know what that word is? It means, watch this, it means double camp. Are you with me? Write that down. You got to write that one down. It means double camp. Why did he name the place double camp? He named the place double camp because in one space, he had his family and the presence of God occupying in the same space. And who wouldn't want double camp knowing that your family is right in the same place where your God is? Come on, somebody. There's a parent in who need to cry out for this space because you want God to be in the same place where your babies are. You need to go home, and when you kick in the door, you ought to say, as of right now, this place is called Mahanim because here not only do our people lay their heads, but God is also camped here too. Praise God. In the same space. You'd be able to say what Joshua said, as for me and my house. Okay, right? Come on, hurry up. Look, so next verse. Are you with me so far? So now he saw angels. And so Jacob is in a time of transition, and Jacob is yet to wrestle with God and receive a new name. He's yet to confront his past and look into his face of his brother Esau. And so he gets to this place, and it's called double camp because now he knows that he's on his way to something. Now, after this space, after leaving here, he leaves, watch this, he leaves and he goes to another place. Now, the place he goes to is a place called Jabbok. Say Jabbok, right? Say with me, we'll get this done. He went to a place called Jabbok. If Mahanim means double camp, Jabbok means an empty space. So God took him from a place that was filled to a place that was empty. Stay with me, right? He took him to a place. And why did he move him to a place that was empty? So that he wouldn't become complacent feeding off the full. He would become so satisfied that he would never want to move again. So God directed him to Jabbok, to a place of emptying, because, watch this, because I need you to trust me that when you are empty, I can refill you again.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Yeah.
I'm going to dance up in here. The right leg is Baptist and the left leg is Pentecostal. We're going to dance up in here. Come on, somebody. You should say, why it's Baptist? Because this can't dance, but this one can. No. That's what I'm saying. He takes him from a place of full to a place of empty because he wants Jacob to know, don't you ever depend on full and be satisfied with it. I'm the one that provided your full, and I can also sustain you in your empty.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay, right? So now, jump down. Because what is Jacob is on his way back home. So he's concerned about his family, and he's concerned about the fact that he got to be reunited with Esau, who vowed to kill him for stealing the birthright and the blessing from him in the beginning. So the last word out of his brother's mouth was, I'm going to kill Jacob. So listen, how many of you know that years may pass, but if somebody want to take you out, they still gonna take you out because they'll nurse that thing. So Jacob is thinking, I got to worry about my family because it's grown. I left here, I had nobody, man. I got everybody. I got wives, I got concubines, I got sons, I got livestock, I got everything. And then I got to deal with the fact that my brother may still desire to take me out. That's the reason why Jacob sent gifts ahead of along with his family to sort of appease the heart of his brother, hoping that the bribe will calm his spirit. So Jacob's got a lot on his mind. Come on, Bishop. So what Jacob got a lot on his mind. Where does God lead Jacob with a lot on his mind? To a place called empty. Because if you're going to want me to move, I can't have no stuff on your mind. Come on, Deborah. I think they're going to get it. You know, I got to take you to a place where nothing is a distraction to you. That's what I take. So he takes him to Jabbok, right? And let's jump. Go to the 24th verse. Jump down. You can read the rest of it when you get home. But you jump down. Because what Jacob failed to realize is that when angels are here, God is near. Are you feeling this? Okay, so you ready? We got it right. 24th verse. Are you there? Look at the 24th verse. Look at it. All right. Then Jacob was what? Left alone. Remember, he was in the other place. Family was there, his wives was there, his sons and daughters were there, livestock, his servants. They were all there in that place of double camp. So watch. Look, about 6 of y'all need to know this. It's okay to go to Jabbok because in the place called double camp, God is watching your stuff. The reason why some of you can't get away for a quiet time is because you don't have nobody you trust to watch your stuff so that you can get alone time with God. Can't nobody else watch your babies. Can't nobody else look after your house. Listen, but you need to know that sometimes you got to leave God in charge of your stuff so that you can get to a place where he can have an opportunity to minister to you. That's why the verse says he was alone. You ain't got your stuff? What about my wife? I got it. Well, how do you got it? What did you see before you left? Angels. I got it. What about my stuff? Angels. And they're not passive angels. They're warring angels. So ain't nobody going to come into that camp and bother what I blessed you with. So go ahead into your secret closet and pray. Nobody's going to mess with the stuff that God has blessed you with. Go ahead and bend down on your knees. It's going to be okay. Nobody's going to take what God has given you. So go and get into a quiet place and let him empty you so that he can pour back into you that which he desires to pour into you. Oh, okay, hurry up. Watch. Here we go. Right? So he's alone now. He was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. So God leads him to a place to have a fight. Oh my God. And some translations mess it up because they'll say the angel of the Lord. No. I'm going to prove it to you, man. It's not an angel of the Lord. That was the Lord himself. You are in trouble, daughter, when God is the one who pick a fight with you. Come on, somebody. When God picks a fight with you, it's not because he think he gonna lose. So a man comes up and wrestles with him, right? And the reason why he's alone, because if he had been in the camp with his family and the man showed up to wrestle, then people would want to jump up and try to protect him. The little kids be like, leave my daddy alone. So God got to get you to a place. That's the reason why some of y'all can't have no quiet time around your family because everybody be ringing your bell. Doesn't it happen when you need to be alone and you got your phone nearby and the ding go off, the Twitter go off, the social media go off, and you think you got to answer it? And it never fails. So he alone, the man comes and wrestles with him. Watch, next verse. Got the next verse? Next verse. Watch the next verse. Go D. So watch the next verse. Now, when he saw the man, that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Right? What is Jacob doing with all the stuff on his mind? Wrestling with God. What was God's purpose of bringing him there to wrestle? To get his mind off of what he was concerned with and get his mind back on God. I need you to work on wrestling with me and not wrestling with all the other stuff that's kept you distracted. Come on, somebody. Woo-hoo! Look at somebody and say, God's about to pick a fight with you. Come on, somebody. He's about to pick a fight with you. Put up your dukes. Watch this. And why would he pick a fight? Watch this, brother. Because you've been complaining for too long. Pick up your deuce. And I'm going to tell you, when you're in a fight with God, you ain't thinking about nobody else but overcoming and who you're in a fight with. Did Esau come up in the battle? Let me go because I got Esau to deal with. Nope. What about my wife and children, Tisha? Nope. What about my stuff? Nope. He's fighting with, and when the man saw that he did not prevail, and oh, by the way, since we are proclaiming that this is God, that's in the wrong English translation. Like when he perceived, it reads like he didn't know ahead of time that he was not going to let him go. In the Hebrew, it should actually read, watch this, when it was sufficiently understood by Jacob that Jacob was not going to let go, is when the man revealed to him. Come on, somebody. I'm going to put your joint out of socket. Put the joint, come on, somebody. Joint out of socket. You know what that is, right? That's where we get that from. Joint out. That's where we get it from, right there. Come on. Come on. Sharice, that's where we get it from. We get it right there. That's that joint. Descendant of Jacob, joint out of socket. Come on, Brandon. That's where we get it from. Up in Brooklyn, the pimps doing this. You know? Pimps who are now deacons, they doing this. They switch roles, but they still got the limp. Knock the joint out. And the text says when he got his joint knocked out. Now, what's the problem now? The problem ain't even Esau. That's the least of his worry. He got a hip problem now. And God knows how to give you a new problem to substitute the problem that's been making you stuck. Now watch. Look at the next verse. We winding this up. Watch. And he said, this is what the man who knocked his hip out said. Let me go, for the day breaks. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Yeah. What just happened in the verse before? Oh, God, we finna shout this out. What happened in the verse before? He got his hip knocked out. What happens in this verse? He says, let me go. And Jacob says, I will not let you go when? Until you bless me. That means, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, Jacob didn't let the fact that he had a new problem loosen his grip on God. When did he get blessed? He got blessed in the middle of being broken. Come on. The best place to be blessed is when you acknowledge that you are broken and you declare to the Lord, no matter how broken I am, I will not let you go until you bless me. When did the blessing come? It came after the brokenness. I'm talking to 7 of y'all right now. In the middle of your brokenness, the blessing is about to come because you have been wrestling with the Lord and you refuse to let go until the blessing has come down.
Wow. Yes, Lord.
Look at somebody say, my blessing is dropping. My blessing is dropping. Because if you would know what I've been carrying on my hip, you would know exactly why I know God is about to deliver, because he always delivers
Yes, God.
through brokenness.
Yes, Lord God. Bless you, Lord. Wow.
So God,
Wow. Thank you, Lord.
here I am broken.
Thank you, Lord.
And the tendency is that when we get broken, we leave God's side because you're disappointed that you end up being broken. You say, I followed you. I kept up with you. But God, now that I'm broken, I'm gone. Jacob says, you can touch the other hip. I ain't going nowhere. I don't care what you do. I will not let you go until you bless me. So God, right now, there's some in here, God, who, because the divided mind is over, are able to say with strength and conviction, I'm not going to let you go. Now watch the next verse. Watch this. Hit the lights and put the next verse up. Verse 27 says, he said to him, turn them off. He said to him, what is your name? And he said, that's it. Come on, baby. He said, what is your name? And he asked him this with a hip out of socket, holding on tightly, because he know that his blessing is not letting go. His blessing is holding on. So even when God, listen, and so some stuff you're facing, maybe it's God who knocked it out of joint to see whether or not you hold on regardless of what you're facing. What if your fight is with God and he's been trying to get you to strengthen your grip on him?
Jesus.
Let me go. Maybe God is saying to some of them, Tisha, let me go. But those who have wrestled with the Lord and have overcome year after year after year, you know what you're saying? Lord, I'm refusing to let you go.